It's just very difficult as a woman director in America. It's the 4%. You can Google it. It's that information is available. I'm doing a project now with these two women producers who are trying to get the money, to put together the money for my film. And I was looking through, because we were thinking, it's a collaboration with a few different directors that I've written these stories for children, and then I want different directors to execute them. So I looked at a list of international directors, of women international directors, and most of them had only made 1 or 2 films and never made any more. You know, when I started making films, there were 5 women maybe in the world that you could count on your hand who were women directors. Now there's maybe 15. This is 30 years later.
Yeah.
Why is that? I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys to change it.
Yes.
There are a lot of women producers who do the actual making of the production, but they don't have the money. They get the money from often they're working with a male director, and they are getting the money from, men. And it's these women producers that I was talking about, which I think is great that there's so many of them. They're not the ones bringing the money in. They're actually the ones running the production, but they're not the ones bringing in the money. It's just about the money. It's not, the work is very, I work very well as, film's a great collaborative medium, so you have to work with many different people, and I had wonderful crews, male and female, working with me, and I never had any problem with any kind of respect or that's not the problem. The problem is the money. It's that simple. I had a feminist mother who was pissed off all her life that she was stopped when she was in her career. And I'm sure that had something to do with my direction and my strength. And faith in myself, because when I came into making films, it was really male. It was
really tough.
And producing Stranger in Paradise
really
was like, I was like because I was very young, and I was like people didn't realize that I knew a lot of what I was doing, and I had to prove myself, and. But they're great. They're great women directors. Like Claire Denis is a fantastic. She's one of the most eclectic, interesting women directors. The French director, Claire Denis. She's unbelievable.
Amazing.
Yeah, and she worked as Jim's assistant on Down by Law, and learned how to make films because she worked with Jacques Rivette and people like that. And then she started to direct her own films. So we give gifts back and forth.
Yeah, and. I mean, frankly, how many years later, I'm just grateful that people are still interested in the movies. That's very exciting for me. I mean, in the meantime, I've just been doing my work with nobody paying attention to it. But
working in theater,
but very underground, But, to then have people rediscover or discover these movies, and especially people your age, is fantastic. I mean, it's really gratifying. It's like rewarding all over again. The first we managed to make them with no money and, fighting really hard, and now there's this whole new generation of people watching them. It's fantastic.
Well, I like women.
Yeah, they're interesting.
I find them far more interesting. No, I'm not interested in it. I mean, I love the movies from the 40s. Many of those were strong women characters, great women characters. And I was pissed off when I was your age, and there were so few roles for women in theater and in film. And it was something that I just remember, I remember being in my early 20s and being very angry about that. That there weren't great roles for women.
No, there weren't.
And you didn't even see it in theater. So, and I'm a woman, so the only stories I really know how to tell are about women. Just keep going. Keep your faith. Just keep your vision, and really, if you're driven, you'll make what you need to make. You'll find your way, and you can't. You have to stay true to yourself and to your own voice, and
and you can't worry about what other people think of you. You just have to, if you want to have a raging rock band, go do it. If you want to be in a play, put it on in your backyard for 5 people. Just, put it out there. Keep working. It's the only way that you'll ever be happy.
I think that the attention to women directors is changing. So it feels like it is. Like Sleepwalk is being shown at the Brooklyn Museum in New York in a women's series from the 80s, and there's more attention now. People realize what's going on. Like Agnes Varda was honored at Cannes this year, and that was directly as a result, I think, of this pressure that women internationally need to have more recognition.
No, and people are getting angry about it. I mean, it's there was a big thing in the New York Times last week about this 4% and, different people who are trying to really get this issue constantly out there. And I think it will change, because also little by little, women have crept into producing for television, especially. There's some women who are, almost at a point of having real power, almost. And so, it's moving towards a consensus that this is wrong. This has to change. And and the point is to just step up and do the work.
And it's not only film; it's also the art world.
It's very conservative, very closed now. I mean,
but now,
now
I've
everyone's
noticed changes.
Interested now.
There's a change going on. Like one of my closest friends is a wonderful artist named June Leaf. She's 85 now. And she taught Klaus Oldenburg. She's somebody who influenced so many different artists, and she's only now really getting recognition at 85. And the Whitney Museum, the new Whitney that just opened in New York City, apparently it's very female driven. A lot of the artists being shown are women, which was really
exciting.
And they're doing a show of June's in the fall. And I went to the new museum in New York, and they were having a show of Middle Eastern artists, and it was almost more than half women, and in the Middle East. And I was thinking, this is great. This is exciting. Yeah. So I think that there's a turn, and I think there has to be, because I wish women would rule the world, quite frankly, because we wouldn't have such a mess. I believe that. I think testosterone has really screwed up the planet. But also that's true of, we know a lot of bands that started in the late 70s, early 80s were all women bands. And just it's believing the hype if you think that you're going to be stopped. You can't be stopped. You have to just keep going.
And bands like L7 is back together, is going on the road again. Babes in Toyland,
Bush Tetras,
and Bush Tetras, and Babes in Toyland is touring with this band with 14 and 19-year-olds called Skating Polly. Amazing band. So it's nice, like older women and kids.
And the music industry was really
and
male-driven.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's really
rock and roll.
Yeah.
Tough for women. So things are happening. Yes, there's hope.
Yeah,
so there is hope.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We're the only hope, actually.
Yeah.